Hello, welcome to FPL Mate, your best mate for FPL content for the 2019-20 season. I'm in pretty good spirits for this one. I've gone from last video, team selection video, from going not wanting to show you my scores whatsoever, to this video where I really do. I'm just excited to show you my scores and how my transfers went. Those of you who watch my videos regularly will already know why I'm so hyped about what's happened so far in game week 35, but yeah, I'm feeling really positive. Yeah, I'll show you in a second what's going on, and yeah, I've got clear transfer plans as well. So yes, today we're going to be doing a game week 35 review, game week 36 sort of preview of my team, what kind of team selection I'm going to be doing, what captain I might go for, and what transfer I'm planning as well, all transfers. So we'll have a look at that in a second. First of all, we'll do the game week 35 points. But before I do that, if you are new around here, if this is the first time you see my videos, if you've seen my videos before but you haven't subscribed yet, then please subscribe. I'm almost at 500 subscribers, which is a huge milestone that I really want to hit. So if you can help me out and help me get towards that 500 subscribers, that'd be so awesome. So thank you if you are doing that. So let's look at my team. Game week 35, and it's pretty good. It's pretty good. So if you watch my last team selection video, you'll know that the transfers I made was Kane and Jordan Henderson to Antonio and Jesus, and the two transfers that I brought in have got me 40 points between them. So I mean, I'm never going to beat that. I'm never going to top that. That's the best bit of transfer business I've ever done in my entire FPL career. What a pair of transfers. It really has worked out perfectly so soon. I'm so happy about that. And if any of you who watched this maybe joined in on my transfers, maybe considered the same players, and then awesome, we're all scoring together. So that's really good. So it worked exactly how I wanted to do. Basically, I wanted to bring in a couple of players that were slight differentials, try and get ahead of the points rather than reacting to other players, and so rather than doing reactionary transfers, knee-jerk transfers, try and just get ahead, which is exactly what's happened. So now everyone's piling on Jesus and Antonio, sort of as expected. But I mean, there's not many game weeks left, and I got there a week earlier, which is just that's what makes the difference in going up ranks often in FPL, rather than chasing points, trying to get ahead of them. So that's what I'm going to try and continue to do going into next week. But this is my team score so far. So 59 points, -4 because I did take a hit. I won't be taking any more hits this season, I don't think. Overall rank up to 110,000, so we're really looking at pushing into that 100k. Maybe even do a bit more. I don't know what my aim should be now, but certainly hoping for a top 100k finish now, and then push on even higher next season. As for the players who haven't played yet, so I've only got 4 players that haven't played. The only players plays today is Doherty. By the time you watch this video, Wolves versus Everton will have already played, but I'm trying to record this fairly early and get it out so I can start trying and just concentrate on watching the final games of the day, just to get a bit of football in my life. Fernandes captain still to play, so that's still positive. I'm not sure who everyone else captained. I think there was a lot of KDB captaincies, a lot of Salah captaincies, which obviously were a little bit disappointing for those guys. But you know, this week has gone very well so far, and I don't think it's going to change too much from here. The only other thing that I did was put Egan in instead of Jimenez in the end. Don't know how that'll play out, but I'm happy to sit on the 6 points with Egan, and that seems like a good score to me. I don't know why, I just had a feeling that he might be able to get something against Chelsea, and he did. So yeah, I'm pretty happy. It was a bit of a risk, but no, it seems to have paid off so far, I guess. Nick Pope only got 3 points, but if he didn't get that yellow card for time wasting, he would have been on 7 points because he would have got the bonus points as well. So that's a little bit disappointing, but at the same time, Nick Pope is just once again proving that he's just the best pick in goal, isn't he? You can't really beat him. Trent Alexander-Arnold obviously didn't start the game, so that was a little bit disappointing as too. But yeah, that's kind of where I'm sitting. Hopefully Fernandes can do his usual 14-15 points per week, which would be an excellent captaincy. Martial, slight differential, so he's not really a massive differential anymore, but yeah, perhaps he can get a few points. And then Wan-Bissaka just to get a clean sheet. I am a bit worried about Danny Ings, but because he is just a beast at the moment. And then Doherty, I'm hoping for a clean sheet against Everton. Everton aren't posing too much of a goal threat at the moment, so yeah, I think we're on for a pretty good score this week, and then we just need to make sure we get ahead of it and continue with the good scores. So let's do my team selection for this week, and it's actually a pretty tricky one. It's actually a pretty tricky one because I've got nothing in the bank, so I can't make any transfers up. I've got a really strong bench for this week, so I might even have to consider bench boost, but I'll show you my team and then you can let me know what you think. So, Nick Pope in goal. I mean, how can I not put Nick Pope in goal? He's just brilliant. He's against Wolves at home. Wolves have been struggling to create many chances, so Hope, I just trust him, and even if he does, people do shoot at him, he makes ridiculous worldy saves all the time. So he's just such a good goalkeeper, isn't he? So I'm very happy to keep him against Wolves. And my other option is McCarthy against Brighton, which I know that seems like it would be a better fixture on paper, but it's just the Pope factor I can't really ignore. And then moving on into defence, I've got Trent Alexander-Arnold. Hopefully, because he didn't get the full game last week, he's going to be starting this week. So yeah, Arsenal, I don't know if it's a great game for him, to be honest, but it's not just assists with Trent Alexander-Arnold, as we always know. It's always an assist potential as well, and possibly a goal, but we're mostly looking at assists and possible clean sheets. But could happen. Not convinced, but more than happy to start him just because I know he'll be starting. Wan-Bissaka next against Crystal Palace. I'm fairly confident of a clean sheet again. I mean, to be fair with Wan-Bissaka, I'm fairly confident with a clean sheet near enough every week, just because Manchester United have been quite good defensively. So yeah, this is another confident with Wan-Bissaka moments. I mean, sometimes I do wish I had to triple Manchester United attack, but sometimes at the same time it's a load off my mind knowing that I have that Manchester United defender every game that I can just sort of just be fairly confident in. Crystal Palace I can't see posing too much of a threat, and Wan-Bissaka obviously getting up the field, maybe putting in a couple of crosses. He could have had an assist again last week. He had to assist the 2 weeks before that. I don't know if he'll get an assist on Monday against Southampton, but he's certainly putting in a lot of crosses and creating some chances, so it's always a possibility with him. And then finally in defence, it's Doherty. Sort of a little bit expensive. He's not attacking wise, he's not got any more near of a goal threat that he used to. He's not had any more of assist potential than he used to before the break. But Wolves are still pretty good for those clean sheets, so I still am happy to own a Wolves defender, although Doherty does seem like a little bit of a waste of money because he's not posing any more of a goal threat than someone like Saiss or Bolly. So it's just clean sheets with him, really. I'm not really expecting too much more, but I'll pick up my 6 points from him if I can against Burnley. Burnley, not a great attacking team, so, I mean, judging by what I've got so far, we're looking at a 0-0 really is what I want. And then moving on into midfield, we're going to go for a 5-man midfield once again. Bruno Fernandes against Crystal Palace. I think that's one where I can be fairly confident on, really, isn't it? Crystal Palace have been conceding loads of goals recently. They've not been looking too good, and Bruno Fernandes is just an absolutely insane football player. Always amongst the goals, always the centre of every attack from Manchester United. And I don't know, by the time this game comes around, it might be his turn for a penalty as well, knowing how many penalties Manchester United get. They do get a lot. And then next up, Martial in midfield. He's in midfield, but technically a striker. Again, very happy to own Martial. Just being this central striker in that in a free scoring Manchester United side, it fills me with confidence. So he is a player I'm very happy to own. I would prefer to have Martial than Greenwood, assuming they were the same price, which they're not. Obviously Greenwood is a fantastic shout, but yeah, Martial brilliant. The only concern is sometimes he drifts out wide a little bit, but the service he's receiving at the moment is just phenomenal. He's more than capable of an assist, just because there's so many players around him that are capable of scoring. So he's a really good player to own, I really do think. Next up is KDB. KDB, I'm actually sort of thinking he's not so essential anymore. He's not a player I'm obsessed with having anymore, whereas before I might have said something slightly different. The reason being is because when Man City are playing these weaker teams, and they've just got weak team after weak team after weak team now, they've really got some fantastic fixtures in the last three. He's incredible, really. But yeah, KDB, when they're playing against the weaker teams, KDB actually often sits back a little bit, and we're expecting in this next game to be having maybe David Silva play, which means when KDB's playing with David Silva's often the one slightly further ahead, and KDB sits back against a bit. So when KDB's playing against a stronger defence, but not a stronger defence necessarily, a stronger attack, then the way Manchester City's midfield will set up is there'll be Rodri, probably Gundogan, and then KDB as the most attacking centre mid. Whereas I don't think in this Bournemouth game he is going to be the most attacking centre mid. But still, potential that he's still on penalties. He's got all the set pieces. Well, other than free kicks, if David Silva's on there, he might have the free kick depending on the angle or the side of the corner, etc, etc. So he's still a really good pick, but I'm not expecting anything monster from him. He does create a lot of chances, but everyone in the City side is creating a lot of chances right now, so I don't think he's any... I think I prefer to have a Sterling or something like that. Next up is Mahrez. Mahrez did play 90 minutes against Brighton, which is a slight concern because it makes you think, well, maybe Mahrez is actually going to be rested against Bournemouth and maybe just come on for the last few minutes or something like that. Sterling did also play 90 minutes, so I'm really not sure. I don't think both of Mahrez and Sterling start next game. There's no chance, really. So it's going to be a bit of a coin toss. Are either of them going to start? Are both of them going to start? I don't think so. Is one of them going to start? But still, Mahrez, just because he's so much cheaper than Sterling, I do prefer Sterling. Sterling is going to get you more points, but Mahrez always looks so good when you watch him, always putting in such good passes, creating such good chances. He could have scored, you could have very easily scored one goal. I think it was Jesus crossed it into him and he had a really good opportunity to score and he unfortunately missed. So the stats is still very much on Mahrez' side, and so he's just a quality player to own. Antonio, oh my God. What a transfer in. I mean, I knew with him playing as central striker against Norwich, and Antonio's stats recently, the amount of honestly, if you just look up Antonio's stats, like his shots in the box, his shots on target, and his chances created, all of these stats are so high. It's ridiculously high. I think at this present exact moment, he is pretty much tops every attacking stat there is. And he's getting with Watford. Watford been weaker in defence. My only concern here is that whoever wins this game out of West Ham and Watford are safe from relegation. So, and even if they got a draw and they got a point each, I think both teams would be happy with that. So for that reason, I think the game could actually be a little bit cagey. Maybe one team trying to nick the 1-0 and both teams pretty much content with a draw, so no one really gunning for it. So that is the concern there. So very happy that I got Antonio in a week early. I don't think he's necessarily going to have a bad game. I think he's more than capable of a goal. But if you're looking for a repeat of last week, if you're trying to chase a 26-pointer, you're not going to get that again in this game. I really don't think. But still, very happy to own him. Definitely going to start him. If he can nick a goal, an assist, or a couple of returns, I think they're very, very within the realms of possibility. But I'm not sure how that game's going to play out. I suppose it depends if there's any early goals. That will change a lot. So we'll wait and see, but very happy to own Antonio just because what he's done already. So happy to move on with him, and yeah, he's very good indeed. Jesus up front against Bournemouth. Jesus, I'm really liking him at the moment. I'm really liking him because he's not just goal threat; he's an assist threat as well, and because he's playing in the most advanced central position, it means that he can link up between all of these amazing players around him. He's linking up with De Bruyne, he's linking up with Sterling, Mahrez, everyone around him, all these awesome players, and Jesus is always involved in these very, very potent attacks that Manchester City are doing, and they're just steamrolling every single team at the moment. And they've got 3 excellent fixtures. Bournemouth, you know, assuming Jesus starts, and he has been starting every game, he did come off after 60 minutes. So for that reason, you'd expect for him to start again against Bournemouth. He's not just played 90 and he's going to be absolutely knackered. Whereas Sterling, who is sort of the alternate false 9, number 9, he did play 90 minutes. So Jesus, for that reason, I'm pretty confident he's going to start. So yeah, that's an interesting one. I'm very happy to own him going into this week as well. I'm looking forward to the Jesus performance against Bournemouth. I think it could be a pretty big one, you know. And then finally, I've got up front Jimenez, but I've said enough about Jimenez recently that you probably know who's going to be removed when I throw up this transfer screen right now. Let's throw it up. Throw it on the screen. Come on. Who have we got? We've got Danny Ings. Jimenez to Danny Ings. It makes sense. It's a transfer down. I can only go down because I've got nothing in the bank. Sorry. And Danny Ings, he's chasing the golden boot. He's got better fixtures than Jimenez over the next couple of games. I think Jimenez has got Burnley this week and then Crystal Palace next week, which he could get something, and then Chelsea in the final game week. Whereas Ings, after Manchester United, he's got Brighton at home. Brighton just got smashed by Man City. He's got Bournemouth away. Bournemouth getting smashed near enough every week, unless you're Spurs, and Sheffield United at home in the last game. And I also like the Danny Ings. I don't think he's going to get rotated. He's chasing the golden boot. He looks like an absolute machine at the moment. He really, really, really wants to score as many goals as possible and get involved as much as possible. So, this is the right time to bring in Danny Ings. Definitely. How can it not be? It really just does seem like another transfer that I'm fairly confident in, which it's probably the only transfers I should be going for, if I'm honest. If I'm not confident in them, I perhaps shouldn't be doing them. But here we are. So yeah, this is the team that is going to push me into the top 100k in game week 36. Now, if you look at my bench, I've got McCarthy, DCL, Egan, and Lascelles. I probably should have showed you this bench before, but here we are. It's actually a pretty strong defense on bench, to be honest, and there is a shout for a bench boost here, potentially, although I do think next week's bench boost does look slightly better for me. So McCarthy against Brighton, Brighton not posing a massive goal threat, but they can score a goal, I suppose. DCL against Aston Villa looks good on paper, but obviously Aston Villa are going to be desperate in this game week, just trying to get some points just for that slim chance of them avoiding relegation. Everton looking crap, and Aston Villa just desperate. So yeah, it could be a good game for Aston Villa rather than DCL. Egan against Leicester, just Sheffield United have just been doing so well defensively recently. They really have, haven't they? And then Lascelles against Tottenham. Tottenham just don't have an attack at the moment. So yeah, like I say, that bench is looking good. I'll probably decide pretty late on whether to do a bench boost, but as I say, next week's bench boost just looks better to me, so I think I'm going to save it for next week instead. But if you do think that this is an irresistible bench boost, then please do let me know, and perhaps I'll consider it after all. Right, let's do captaincies quickly before we round off this video. So I think I've got to go for Jesus against Bournemouth for captaincy. KDB I expect to be playing a little bit deeper, so not so involved. Mahrez played 90 minutes, so not expecting him to necessarily get as many minutes as I'd hope in the game against Bournemouth. Jesus, on the other hand, he only played 2/3 of the game. He's nailed every game. He's the only real option there at attack at the moment. And it's against Bournemouth, and I don't really see how you can look past this fixture. The best attacking team against the worst defending team at home. And I've got this main striker who's pretty much guaranteed to start. How can I not captain him? It's got to be done, hasn't it? So Jesus captain. I'm going to put the vice captaincy on Antonio, just because I'm not so confident about the other City boys, or nowhere near as confident. I could obviously put a vice captaincy on Fernandes or Martial, but let's have a little bit of fun. Let's put it on Antonio for now. But yeah, Bruno Fernandes is probably the other obvious choice, isn't he, with Crystal Palace's recent defensive results. But those guys, even the Manchester United boys, they've been playing a lot recently. So yeah, there's all kinds of concerns all over the place. But no, this is a really strong team, and I'm hoping the Jesus captaincy alone, it's just that one player. I mean, I'd arguably be happy to go into this game week with just one player, Jesus captain, because I really do think he's going to do some damage. So yeah, I look forward to that in hope, and hopefully we can get a few points this week. So yeah, there's my team. There we go. Right, let's round off this video because we've been going on for quite a long time. I always have loads to talk about when it comes to my team. So yeah, if you do think anything, what do you think about the bench boost? What do you think about the transfer? Would you change my bench? Would you perhaps play one of the players I put on my bench in the first starting lineup? Maybe drop someone else. Doxy, maybe drop, I don't know. Let me know. I do always read comments, so even if you have any questions, you want to ask me to give you a little bit of advice if I possibly can, then always happy to do so. If you did enjoy the video, like it. As I said earlier, if you are new around here, please help me get to that 500 subscribers, because we are so close. And yeah, I really hope that I can get 500 subscribers some point during game week 36. I think it's possible. It's got to be possible, surely. So yeah, thank you very much for watching. Thank you for all of your support recently. Good luck in this game week. Hopefully I can continue to prove why my videos are worth watching with some good scores. And I'll see you on the next one. Catch you later, mates.